Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am so excited to have with me here to speak about the pilot episode of a really dope program that may or may not be hitting our airwaves very soon, Neodome. I have Nicholas Logan and Michael Mosley here. What's up, dudes?
Yo, what's up,
What's
man?
up, William? How are you today?
Hey, it's a beautiful day out here today, although I do have a hoodie on. I honestly, I watched it this short last night, this 15 minutes here last night, and I got to tell you, it was very tense, and the two of you were absolutely fantastic. Nicholas, you look like a completely different person in the show.
Thanks, man. I hope
I
so.
hope
I
so.
hope I don't look like Larry. If I do, I got to get to a dentist, and my wife would leave me. It'd be bad.
Yeah, your wife probably likes you the way you are. That's always good. Uh, let's talk a little bit about this. So it takes place in like a post-economic collapse America, and apparently there's a neodome that is the oasis for people, and they're all headed there. And your two characters are headed there with tickets in hand to try and leave a better life. Am I missing anything?
No, that sounds
I
good.
don't think so. I think you're on it. Yeah.
And you come upon a character played by the lovely and talented Anna Camp, who says that if you help her get to the closer to her car, which is somewhere around, that she'll give you some gasoline out of this giant tank that she's got. But Michael, your character is suspicious from the get-go. And Nicholas, your character is the exact opposite. He is smitten at the jump. Can you talk about these two characters, what it's like to play them, and working with Anna on this project?
Yeah, I think. I think Gary is just suspicious of the world. I think. I mean, you could just take one look at these guys and see that they've probably been kicked around a bit in life, you know. And well, maybe, and I'm not trying to speak for Nick, but well, Larry maybe is a little more forgiving of some of that. I think Gary is pissed, and I think Gary's like, he's pissed about his station in life, and that he didn't get whatever a fair shake to him would be. And so, yeah, and I think he doesn't trust anybody, especially a stranger with a nice suit walking in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, I think Mike's dead on. It's for Larry, it's a thing where Larry's going to follow Gary wherever he tells him to, and this concept of a neodome sounds great and doesn't take a lot of selling, but you know Larry's a bit like a golden retriever, a very ugly, slovenly. Maybe a golden retriever isn't the best dog analogy, but so
Let's say
this
golden. When I think of Larry, I don't think golden a lot.
not golden, maybe, I don't know, he's a desert mutt. I don't know what he is. He's Larry. He's the Lair Bear. He's a problem for anyone who meets him. But I think Larry, he's like a dog in that, short attention span, man. And when someone as beautiful as Anna shows up, it's just like, whoa, like brain, like staying on task is very difficult. um and he's just kind of going at the whim and constantly having to be brought back to the plan at hand by Gary.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much right. I think that once he sees Anna, all his attention goes right there, and that ADD personality that he normally has just sort of falls in line, and he hyper focuses on Anna the whole time. But I'm not going to give the whole thing away because there is some twists and turns in this 15 minutes that really lead us to and lead me to being curious about what is in that Neo Dome. And what I loved about your guys' angle is I kind of want to know how you ended up with the guy in the back seat. The whole time I'm wondering, who is that guy? How did he get there? Would you guys like to have that happen, like an episode where we just discover Larry and Gary's trip and voyage in discovering this car?
Well, the Pfeffer brothers are kind of like mad scientists, like they've got all this stuff mapped out in their head, and we're kind of on a need to know basis. They're and also it's hard to like describe or like justify these things in an abstract way. You kind of almost have to just watch it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I would love to explore all this whole world and the backstories of our characters, or whatever other motley creatures are crawling out from under rocks out in this bizarre world that the Pfeffers have created. Yeah, anything. Yeah, give us money. Let's make a TV show.
I
Yeah,
love it.
let's give us money. Let's make a TV show. I think what's cool is I don't, like Mike was saying, I hope we get to find out. I'm interested in finding out myself what the Neodome is, but I think what's so intriguing about it is that we don't know. And for each of us, we have our own thing. I mean, I think for Larry, he's been sold this bill of goods of just sort of like money and parties and excitement and just like a life he could never dream of. I mean, his life is very small. His world is very small and hard and ugly and doesn't have any kind of potential or opportunity for much in the future. Not much is probably going to change for Larry. And Gary, like Mike was saying, has that chip on his shoulder, and he's been convinced, like, hey man, like if we're going to get out of here, you want anything better than this, it's over there. And I think they both convinced themselves of an idea, and whether that idea holds true, I guess we'll have to watch and find out.
I love that. And I think you're right. I'm very curious to see where it goes. Now, I've never interviewed you guys before. So whenever I have a first time guest on here, I always like to ask the same two questions as the final two questions. The first one is, who are some people that you guys look to as inspirations? Mike, you've been a TV star, a star on TV for a long, long time. And Nicholas, you have quite a few movies under your belt. I look up everything before I get on here. Who are some people in your life that are inspirations, whether that be professionally or personally?
Oh man, my brother is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. He makes me laugh. He's so hilarious. My family, my parents, my partner, and then professionally, you meet all kinds of folks. I don't know if throwing names around right now is what I want to do, but yeah, I mean, I'm doing Ozark with Bateman and Laura Linney. All we did was this violent shit all the time and all the time. But then they'd call cut, and those two are the classiest people in the world. I remember at one point I was doing a scene with Laura, and the director came over to me after we called cut, and he goes, "I don't think you'd be smiling at her like that." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, I don't think you'd be. I think you're mad. I think you're angry. You might murder her. You're very mad at her. So I don't know why you're smiling." And I go, "I didn't even know I was. I was just staring at America's Laura Linney, and I was in a scene with her, and I was just like, couldn't believe my luck and how happy I was, and how just cat, and I was like, yeah, right. Stop smiling. Like you're here to do a job." So I remember that.
I love that.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, my mom's like my hero and my wife is a patient like a rock for me and helps me go. But professionally, it's similar to what Mike was saying. I've just been really lucky that I've gotten to work with like really cool, kind people. I mean, Sam Rockwell and Zahn McClarnon are like two of the just like best dudes I've ever been around, and every time I've been on something, I've just been really lucky that these people who I've always kind of watched and admired from afar, like the way they carry themselves with professionalism, but when it's time to go, they're ready. And I've learned a lot from them. And then in terms of this particular character in Neodome, I mean, I just read it and it was like John Goodman's and his best friend in Raising Arizona, and I was like, oh, like I just imagined them like coming up out of like the goo and the swamp when they're escaping the prison, and that idea is sort of like stuck in my craw a little bit, and it helped me start going down a little well with Larry.
I love that. That's a great answer. Those are both great answers to these questions. Now, the last question I'm going to ask you before we get into an outro is the hardest question of the day. So take your time with it. You can only watch two movies for the rest of your life. What two and why?
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's I mean, I always loved. Well, I shit, William. Um, that's I'll give you one. I like, for performance wise and art wise. And one of my favorite actors is Jenna Rollins in Woman Under the Influence. That's one of my favorites of all time.
Cassavetes. Good choice.
Nick, you want to take one?
Man, I don't know. Luckily, I don't ever have to do this because I love movies so much.
Yeah.
I watch movies like I'm a total dork for this stuff, so I can go hard. I mean, there's like three movies that never leave my top five. And that's it's Goodfellas, Godfather 2, and Harold and Maude. But I could like mix in like Shampoo. I'm a big Hal Ashby guy. But like for time wise, I'd probably give myself like Casino and Godfather 2, so that if I'm only getting those two, at least I'm getting like big chunks, you know, like I need
Yeah.
something that's long because Goodfellas moves. I couldn't I would hate to lose it, but it moves so fast, you know. I would it would suck.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
get
glad
exactly
I
what
don't
you're
live in
saying.
a world where that's the case, man.
Me too, man. But that's why I asked this question, because it's a difficult question. Mike, do you have a second one for me?
I want to do something more pop culture, like not so artsy fartsy, like something that's like just popcorny and like gets my little kid tail wagging. But I don't know what that would be, like what Goonies or something. Like I don't know, maybe something like that's just it's like I got one that's like my heavy one, and then I got one that's like my, you know.
Yeah, like the Burbs. Put like the Burbs or like Rocky. I put like Rocky, you know, 3. Maybe, you know, Rocky 1's the best, but like I kind of love
Christmas
3.
Vacation, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, maybe.
Yeah.
These are all great movies. I personally like Rocky 4.
Rocky 4
Because
is
it's
excellent. I love
cheesy.
all the Rockies.
Yeah, it's cheesy and I love it. It's great. Even 6 is great. Not 5. We don't talk about 5.
I love 5 too. I'm here for all.
Nah, no one loves 5. Come on,
I
Tommy
do.
Gunn. No
I
one
do.
loves Tommy
I
Gunn.
love 5.
Ah, Nick, come on, man. All right, so that was the hardest question of the day. So I wanted you guys to elevator pitch me this pilot and why you think people need to watch this and pick it up.
We actually have this in writing. Let me see. No, I'm just kidding. I could read it right over here.
Read it, Mike.
I don't even see where it's at. I don't think we got an elevator pitch on our press sheet. Everybody has this kind of fuck me, dude. Everybody has this like goal that it's kind that's nondescript, that they don't even know where they're going, and everybody's, I don't know. I'm not a producer. That you have to tell me what to say. You give me lines and you tell me what to wear and you tell me where to stand, and then I do that. You know?
Yeah. I think it might be something, and I'm like Mike, we're apes, you know, we're little dancing ape monkeys. But I think it's like I think it's something along the lines of like, you know, the rejects of the world have been given a chance at salvation, and it's in the Neodome, and all they got to do is get there. But there's a lot of obstacles in the way, including each other. And so something along those lines, you know, it's like the world's in their way, but the world's right over there. And I think something that's, what do they say? It's like Mad Max. I'm the one who always throws around Raising Arizona. They don't. It's like Westworld meets Mad Max.
Okay, I like that. See, me, I would have gone with a simple, in a world where all of the misfits need to get to one place on time, stands the world itself.
Ooh, stands the world itself.
That's good.
In a world.
William, can I also say, your wallpaper behind you is heroic. It's amazing. It's I don't know if people can see it. It's flamingos in a Christmas theme, like a winter Christmas motif.
Yeah.
Awesome. Really well.
It's absolutely incredible.
Mike's really passionate about Christmas and flamingos. I know that.
So the fact that you smashed them together so effortlessly, I'm in awe.
Blowing his mind.
Thank you. I will put that, because I'm not going to use the video, but I will put an example of it in the video when I publish it so they can see this gorgeous, gorgeous background here. Guys, thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate your time. I can't wait to see if this gets picked up. And when it does, I will be the first guy in line for episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. When those get made. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, bro. Be good.